Hello everyone. In this video, we will be learning about technology changes and information literacy. So before we start, let me introduce you to our team. First, we have Shreya Pawar from India, myself, Pusmita Modal from India, Džena Osmanović from Bosnia-Herzegovina, Mansi from India, Lamija Selhanović from Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Angelica Mack from America. Here are the topics that we will be discussing briefly in this video. With the practical insight and theoretical knowledge that we have gathered, we will be proving that with the change in technology, the internet now has become a public information good, and understanding it as such helps us to determine the goals of everyday educational practice as well as the need for information literacy skills in our era. So let us begin with the definition of information literacy. Information literacy is the set of integrated abilities encompassing the reflective discovery of information, the understanding of how information is produced and valued, and the use of information in creating new knowledge and participating ethically in communities of learning. The six fundamental frameworks of information literacy are authority is constructed and contextual, information creation as a process, information has value, research as inquiry, scholarship as conversation, searching as strategic exploration.
Now let's understand how the technology evolved over time. We want to start that with one good quote from the book Digital Learning that says, "Technology shape our past, our present, and the future. We design technology, then technology shape us."
Here is a short timeline for the evolution happened in the field of information communication technology. In the year 1876, world's first telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. In the year 1920, world's first radio station broadcasting news was developed. In the year 1928, world's first television was invented. In the year 1964, world's first computer with operating system was developed by IBM. And in the year 1973, world's first mobile phone was developed by Motorola.
The year 1983, Internet was invented when ARPANET adopted Internet Protocol. In the year 1989, World Wide Web was invented by Tim Berners-Lee. In the year 1994, world's first smartphone with apps was developed. Also, in the same year, world's first e-commerce website was launched by Netscape navigators. In the year 1996, Google was created and launched by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. World's first social media site, 6 Degree, was launched by Andrew Weinreich in the year 1997. This was followed by the launch of several other social media sites, like Facebook by Mark Zuckerberg in the year 2004, YouTube in the year 2005, and then Twitter and Instagram in the following years. One of the main things that we wanted to show with this presentation is that with the changes of technology also happen changes with the way media is presented then and now. The traditional media used to communicate information by broadcasting through television, radio, music, movies, and by printing in newspapers, magazines, books, signs, and billboards. Whereas now the new media communicates information through websites, blogs, apps, wikis, emails, ebook, podcast, and etc. The main differences between traditional versus new social media is that the first one is challenging achieving, have controlled publication, that means that information must be verified and approved by editors, then they operate in limited space, goes in one way like a monologue from publisher and producer, have restricted access and requires a lot of money and specialized knowledgeable team of people, while new social media is opposite from that. It has features such as simplified achieving, self-publication, requires dialogue, it is flexible, easy to use, and have relatively low costs. We can agree with the fact that traditional media is more reliable, but new media is our future, and it's already been shaping the way we communicate and finally live our lives in 21st century. And that is it from me. My colleague Mansi will take the next part.
In this section, we will be learning about algorithm. The data has been obtained from the research paper Information Literacy in the Age of Algorithm by Alison J. Head, PhD, Barbara Pfister, and Margie Macmillan. The source investigates mainly the way in which information literacy is shaped by algorithm as a part of information literacy education. As algorithm tracks our interaction, consumer habits, and political learning to update us with the information of our interest. It can be used as profitable business model and clever computer codes that are influencing our daily lives. Hence, understanding algorithm and our information privacy right will help us navigate the information landscape today. In this section, we will be learning about how games can be used to improve the information literacy skills of students. The information has been taken from the research work Games to Improve Student Information Literacy Skill by Marina and Anna Maria Tamaro, Alexandra Kumar Nova. The source mainly investigates the way in which game-based learning approach can be used for improving the information literacy skills. Evolution of technology and expansion of internet has increased the importance of information literacy. Educational games directly focus on competencies needed for the information age. Thus, development of educational gaming technology can be used to promote information literacy. Further, in order to get a practical insight, we conducted a survey among the people of millennial generation and Gen Z from the three countries Bosnia and Herzegovina, India and America. The purpose of this survey was to track the shift in source of information with evolution of technology and understanding why the need of information literacy has increased over time. Through this survey, we learned that the source of information have changed and increased over time, which has made it difficult to find the actual and true information. Thus has increased the need and awareness of information literacy. However, communication has become easy and fast with time and is responsible for faster evolution of technology now. Also, it presents various dimensions of information.
I'm Džena Osmanović from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Generation Alpha and Technology. Generation Alpha includes those born from 2010 and have therefore grown up in a fully digital environment. The Alphas are presented as a generation profoundly marked by new technologies and social networks. Technologies that will surround Generation Alpha will majorly include mobile devices, virtual assistants, AI toys and accessories, and autonomous vehicles. The characteristics of Generation Alpha will be hyperconnected. Alpha children are permanently connected. Such is their attention to new technologies that it becomes a way of life. Independent, they are independent when it comes to making their own decisions and managing their digital identities, and they expect their individual needs and preferences to be taken into account. Video will be their preferred format. In addition, video games will boost their visual skills, improving eye-hand coordination and the ability to easily switch tasks. Technological, being hyper-connected, they become experts in the use of new technologies, which facilitates their digital learning and opens up a wide range of possibilities. Diverse, in this case, diversity not only refers to demographics such as ethnicity and gender, but also to taste, lifestyles, and points of view. The problems of Generation Alpha will be reduced attention span and concentration, as they are used to using several screens at once and quickly scanning information. Their attention span and concentration is impaired. Less time for socializing. Spending much of the day online, both inside and outside the home, reduces the time for learning, playing, and socializing in more traditional ways. In fact, much of socialization is transferred to social networks, less development of creativity and imagination. Without questioning the skills that the alpha generation will acquire thanks to the new technologies, it should be stressed that as the use of physical toys is reduced, the development of imagination and creativity will suffer. Reduced ability to achieve happiness. As psychologist Jean Twenge notes in her book iGen, there is a link between the rise of smartphones and social media and the increase in depression, anxiety, and loneliness in today's youth.
Now, let's understand what embedded internet means and how it can be used in the future. The embedded devices are the objects that build the unique computing system. An embedded device system generally runs as a single application. However, these devices can connect through the internet connection and able to communicate through other network devices. Although this vision is not new, it is only now gathering momentum as ubiquitous connectivity is finally becoming a reality. And Moore's law has driven device cost and size low enough to justify smart devices everywhere. Machine-to-machine or M2M is a broad label that can be used to describe any technology that enables network devices to exchange information and perform actions without the manual assistance of humans. Artificial intelligence and machine learning facilitate communication between systems, allowing them to make their own autonomous choices. The representatives of M2M usage model are utilities, vehicular telematics, healthcare, personal navigation devices, remote digital frame functions, public surveillance systems, environment monitoring, remote maintenance and control, e-payment systems, and tracking and tracing devices. And the essential elements of M2M solutions are third, fourth, fifth generation wireless technologies, security on chip, video analytics, augmented sensing, standardized M2M plug-and-play capability, and M2M gateway aggregation points. Till now, we have learned how technology evolved and internet became a major source of information and influenced information literacy. However, we also need to consider a part of humankind which has no access to these technological advancements. In this section, we will be discussing the digital divide. The digital divide is a term that refers to the gap between demographics and regions that have access to modern information and communication technology and those that don't or have a restricted access. This technology can include telephones, televisions, personal computers, and internet connectivity. Arguments regarding why closing this digital divide is important are economic equality, social mobility, democracy, economic growth, rural areas access, disabilities, and restriction versus freedom. Now, let's understand the three stages of digital divide. Stage 1. Economic divide. The fact that expenditure required to be incurred on purchasing the devices required and the access to the internet is not affordable for a huge population, which includes the average citizens belonging to poor developing countries, is what creates the economic divide. Even if we overcome this issue, the next issue that arises is usability divide. The technology has always been complicated in such a way that low literacy groups cannot access information easily. This problem can be solved. However, this issue has always been at the least interest for service providers. The third stage is empowerment divide. Most users lack the initiative and skills to take the matter in their own hand. Some users remain at the mercy of their other people's decision. If we successfully overcome these three issues, then we can bridge the digital divide. But how can this be done? Here's the answer. By increasing digital literacy, by providing operational incentives to information and communication technology entities, by developing relevant and local content in addition to telecommunication infrastructure, by encouraging the establishment of cyber clubs, by establishment of workable partnerships between all information and communication technology stakeholders, and by promoting innovations geared towards overcoming the digital divide. Now, as we have covered all the topics, let's have a look at the conclusion. We are witnessing a digital transition from old to new learning models. The evolution of information and communication technology and invention of internet has brought great benefits to humanity, but also some disadvantages. But we can all agree that internet is a public good
if we understand its way of functioning. In our era, it is crucial to, along with computer skills, have information literacy skills of critical thinking of the information that we consume, share, and produce.
Here are the citations for the sources that we used to gather the data for the presentation, and here are the citations for the images that we used throughout the presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.